Hey folks, it's Brian, RPG Day 2019, day number 10. The keyword for today is focus. And there was a couple of different things I was thinking about, like the focus of your game, genre, system, scenario, etc. But I was thinking more along the lines of my focus as a gamer. When we were younger, I didn't really run that much. My brother ran for us when he was in town. Otherwise, Ed was our GM, and we just played. I was a player. That was my focus: playing the game, having fun, doing my thing. Um, Through high school and on to college, it was pretty much the same. I was a player. Now, I did run some fantasy trip. Well, I ran one session, a fantasy trip in college. We put up a notice on a bulletin board looking for some players. A couple of girls came by. We played the fantasy trip, one session, and we never saw them again. I think it was that bad of a session. One thing I remember was we tried to pull them into the scenario, and one of them was captured by a giant, so we had to go and rescue her. And then everybody was talking about going to Moria, right? The mines of Moria, the mountains of Moria, the dwarven stronghold thing, the 7 steps up to the back gate. And that kind of freaked them out. Oh well. Uh, since getting back into playing, getting back to the States and playing again, uh, my first focus was on just getting a group together. And I found out that, well, a friend of mine in church who plays games, tabletop games, all kinds of different games, right? He's a game player, and I was a game player, and so our families, we played games a couple times. And I think I brought up to him, maybe my wife mentioned to me about him playing, D&D. I mentioned him, and he was interested. I also found out that a couple other guys at church played D&D as well, and so my focus changed from being a GM or a player to just getting a group, an organizer. I became an organizer. I was organizing our game, making sure we got a chance to play. One of the other fellows had the starter sets. We did 5e, ran through the Mines of Phandelver, had a great time. We swapped out GMs for a couple other of the scenario booklets. We did Underdark one, I forgot what it's called, and then Storm King's Thunder. And then I jumped on doing Princes of Apocalypse. I've got a whole slew of videos on that. If you're interested in the Princes of Apocalypse, I give you my 2 cents. A lot of with a lot of sprinklings of how I play. That kind of dwindled and died when my son went off to college and the summertime hit and it was hard to get together again. And since then, we haven't really played again. Well, we did. We played a couple of times in Russell's homebrew campaign, but it's been just spotty, hit and miss kind of stuff. But throughout that whole time of 5e going on, Chaosium came out with RuneQuest. We're playing in Glorantha, and they were asking for GMs to run games at conventions, and so I ran at Origins. I ran at Gen Con that year. The following year, I wasn't able to run at Origins, but I ran at Gen Con. I ran on PAX Unplugged. And this year I ran at Origins and Gen Con, and I'll be doing PAX Unplugged again. So my focus has changed to being a game master. And with RuneQuest being, I'm just familiar with the system and style. Glorantha I knew a little bit about, but not much, so I've been digging into that. And I'll start off my game saying, hey, I am a RuneQuester, not a Gloranthophile. So the mythology and stuff, I know bits and pieces, and I'll certainly weave that in because that gives a lot of flavor into the scenario and things going on. But I've actually turned also doing con games. My focus has been on selling the game because not only do I love role playing, and I love RuneQuest, and I'm starting to learn to love Glorantha, and I'm trying to get that excitement across to my players as we're playing these one shots at a convention, right? And we're hitting 5 minutes, so let me go ahead and just leave it at that. Focus changes over time. my current focus, well, I'm also running a home game of RQG. Well, home game. I'm running online with some folks I met online and a buddy of mine from high school and college. So I still got this GM and this trying to get across stuff and being able to sell the game. And at the conventions, the fun and excitement of Glorantha, or room class role playing Glorantha. So I think my focus is still, I'm a seller now. We'll see how it goes. What are you selling? Happy gaming.